Hey, it's Ranger Russ back at the Meggs Point Nature Center. Nobody can visit me right now. I actually go a little stir crazy in this building all by myself, so I'm really happy to get to talk to all of you. I do have a building full of animals though, and today we're talking about one of my favorite animals, the favorite animal of the day. This is not a live animal. This is one of the animals that we have mounted here at the Nature Center. But there's a good reason for that. This is an animal that is very hard to find in Connecticut, and it's an animal that is not in Connecticut year-round. So, before I get into that, I want to shout out to the Great Backyard Pursuit. It started on Saturday. I hope that everybody signed up. Go on there, find the activities. They're lots of fun. I think that this Saturday I'm going to do last week's activities. So I'm going to do them a week behind. You're going to do them first. And let me know how you enjoy them, and maybe you can give me some tips as to making my experience a little better. If you find something works out easier than some other way, I'd be happy to hear your feedback on the Great Backyard Pursuit. And we've got lots of events coming up there, so make sure you check it out. You can link to it from our website, meggspointnaturecenter.org, the virtual learning center. You can also link with the Kellogg Environmental Center, who have lots of great lectures coming up. There's some really cool stuff from our wildlife division that you can sign up for there. Goodwin Conservation Center and Dinosaur State Park also have great information and programs and activities, all kinds of fun things to do. So make sure you check those out. I'm going to ask everyone to, if you have any questions or comments, put up where you're commenting from. I really like to see where everybody is reaching out from. I want to give a shout out, a happy birthday to Noel and River. So, two of the closest people in my life, actually. Grew up with them. So, let's talk about our favorite animal of the day. And that is, spin the camera, an owl. But not just any owl. This is a short-eared owl. Okay, now many of you probably haven't heard of a short-eared owl before, and that's because they are very rare in Connecticut. They're really only here in the winter. We do sort of overlap just a tiny bit. Sometimes you'll see them here in the spring and in the fall, but this is really a winter visitor to Connecticut. They nest way up in the tundra. So if you saw our program on the snowy owl, this owl overlaps. They nest in the same areas. And this is one of the few owls that do nest on the ground. They will nest just on a mound in the grasses and the plants of the tundra. That's where they lay their eggs. The young, actually, after they hatch, about 12 to 14 days after they hatch, they start walking around. So where other birds start out by going out onto a branch and then learning to fly, these guys start out walking, and then they start jumping and trying to fly from there. So very, very cool owl. They usually only have a few young. They don't have a lot of eggs, 4 to 7. 7 would be a really high number, so you're probably looking in the middle there. And again, just like most of the animals we talk about, not all of them will live to be adults. Now, I want to tell you something absolutely fascinating about this owl. This is one of only 2 species of owls that are found in Hawaii. This one got there on its own. So they live in Alaska, and they believe that some of them flew out to Hawaii and began a breeding population. So there are a few islands where they will nest and they breed. The short-eared owl is a long migrator. They fly for pretty good distances, 1,200 miles. They have found them on ships over 600 miles out in the ocean. These have gone and landed on those ships. So these owls are traveling, and that's how they can end up on islands like Hawaii. If you're interested, the other owl that is found on Hawaii is an introduced owl, the barn owl, was introduced to Hawaii to try and control rodent populations. But this owl got there on its own. So that makes this a really special owl to me, especially for Hawaii. Now, these owls, they get mature at about 1 year. So not really a long time before they're mature, but they only live about 4 years. So it's not a really long-lived owl. I'm going to move it up a little closer to the camera. Now, if you take a look at the head, you can see there are no ear tufts. Sometimes you see a little tiny bit of an ear tuft. It's not really an ear. Those are just feathers that stick up. People call them ears. But those are just to break up the camouflage. This one will get really short ones. Sometimes you can see them, but they don't always display them. And that's how it got its name, the short-eared owl, as opposed to the great horned owl, which has pretty good thick feather tufts, and the long-eared owl, which has really long feather tufts. Also, take a look at those feet. So we looked at the snowy owl, and you can look at our snowy owl program on the Meigs Point Nature Center YouTube channel or on our virtual learning center on the website. Snowy owl has lots of feathers on the feet. That's because they live in a cold tundra area. So the feathers keep their feet a little bit warmer. All right. Let me set this back over here. Now the snowy owl does have more feathers on its feet, so they are a little bit warmer. I mean, yeah, their feet would be a little bit warmer. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Let's check and see. There are any questions? Somebody's saying turtles switch to owls. I didn't have a turtle program. I don't know if somebody else had a turtle program. All right. So let's just keep going. If you do have any questions, you can post them at any time. And another really interesting thing, a really cool fact about the short-eared owl, I almost said long-eared, the short-eared owls will actually gather together in non-breeding season. So breeding season, they're very territorial, and they'll defend their territory from one another. In non-breeding season, they will actually gather together in large groups. Up to 200 of them have been seen together. They don't roost right next to each other, but within about 3 feet of each other. So they're not really, gathering together like some owls do, but they'll gather together in a big group. But that means that there's lots of food in the area. They will not gather together in those big groups unless there's plenty of food, because then they're going to get a little bit territorial about defending their food. Someone's asking what the nest is made of. Great question. It's on the ground, so it's really, and I might get corrected here on this, but it's just the shrub and tundra that's in the area. They may bring things from further away, but as far as I know, it's just whatever is in the area. They mat it down a little bit and lay their eggs right on that. So it's really cool. What other predators do the owls have? So the predators on this owl is going to be some other birds of prey. The goshawks, peregrine falcons, all those big falcons, red-tailed hawks. Even the great horned owl or the snowy owl might take them. It's mostly birds. Because they nest on the ground, there aren't a lot of things that raid their nests. Now, they eat mostly small rodents, some shrews, lemmings, rabbits, gophers, things like that, muskrats. So they're feeding off of ground things mostly. This bird isn't one of the ones that's going to take a lot of things out of the air. That being said, most predators are pretty opportunistic, and if they can steal food from another bird, they will. Or if they find something that's an easy kill, they're going to take that as food as well. The owls are not social distancing. No, they're not. They're only 3 feet away. So you want to keep your distance. And our distance, if you remember from our program the other day, 115 fiddler crabs is the distance you need to stay away. Someone's asking about the gestation or the incubation period for these are 21 to 37 days. So it's a pretty wide range. And that probably has to do with the temperatures, how cold it is out there. Now these are listed. They're not listed as a threatened or endangered species in other places, but here in Connecticut, they are listed as a threatened species. All right, any other questions? Let's take a look here. Predators. All right, someone's asking about a turtle program. You can see all of our turtle programs are up on the website, megspointnaturecenter.org. And also, you may be thinking about the Wildlife Division is doing a Zoom turtle presentation. Actually, it started at 11. And I believe it's again at 3. You can see that same presentation. But that's our Wildlife Division that's hosting that one. All right, any other questions? So I want to talk a little bit about the fact that we have a mount here. I don't like having a lot of dead animals in a building, but there are some exceptions. This one is a really great example of the short-eared owl. It's not something that you're commonly going to see in Connecticut. They're pretty hard to spot. So this gives a really good example of the short-eared owl that you wouldn't get to see in the wild typically. The eyes are not real. Those are actually glass eyes. So when they mount the bird, those are glass eyes. The talons are real. They leave those. And I'm going to turn it so you can see its back. Now, because it's a mount and it's a pretty old mount, the colors are a little bit faded. You can expect to see richer browns and more defined colors in a live bird. Now, the short-eared owl sometimes gets confused for the northern harrier, which is another Arctic bird that comes down here for the winter. When they're in flight at a distance, they have a similar shape to them because the harrier tends to look down a lot and you don't see the distinctive head that you usually see with most hawks. Most owls look like they have a very short, stubby head with almost no neck. So the owl sort of resembles the harrier when they're in flight. Someone says they look fierce. Does the coloring provide a warning to prey? Heard they're almost silent when they fly. So a couple of good points there. This is a very fierce looking pose. We have this one looking down. This is way up high in the woods room. When you come in, you have to look up and the bird is looking down. Remember, they're eating animals that live on the ground, so they tend to be looking down a lot. The color provides camouflage. So the color is going to provide camouflage, and mostly when they're on the ground in their nests, they're going to blend in. They really don't want to give alert to their prey. They are very silent. Owls' feathers are very different than hawk feathers. Hawk feathers have a nice clean line. I think we did this in one of the other programs. But hawk feathers, the feathers are nice and fit together in a nice smooth line. An owl feather is frayed at the end. So if you imagine, if you're clapping with just your fingers, it's a louder noise. If you fray it, it makes the noise a little bit quieter. So in flight, they're even more silent than a hawk. And if you could imagine the sound that a hawk makes just flapping its wings, it's not a loud sound, but the sound of an owl is even less than that of a hawk. All right, I think I saw another question. I'm going to scroll down here and see if I can take a look at that one. All right, they're talking about the turtles again. Does anybody else have any questions about our owl? I want to remind everyone that all of our programs are stored in the Virtual Learning Center, where you can also get lists of vocabulary words that go along with the animals. They may be words that I use. They may be words that I didn't happen to use. We can put them up either way. Also, we try and put fun facts about each of the animals that we do a program on. And you can go to another section of the Virtual Learning Center and see all the crafts and pictures that other people have sent in. You're welcome to send in your pictures and crafts, anything that you do. Or if you see an animal or something that you want identified, you could send that in as well. We'll try and identify that for you. And someone says, I hope my fingers are okay. My fingers are fine. Oh, someone's asking, does this owl have good eyesight? And when does he eat? Very good questions. So they do have excellent eyesight. And this owl tends to be more crepuscular. So diurnal or crepuscular. So evenings and nighttime is when they're going to hunt. And they do have good vision for hunting during those periods of time. All right, any other questions? So you can also see the videos on our YouTube. Please follow us on YouTube, Meggs Point Nature Center at YouTube, or follow the Meggs Point Nature Center on Facebook. That will tell your friends that you're enjoying these programs. And if you'd like other little snippets, you can go to ranger.russ on Instagram, and I put up little pieces of the program. Sometimes I do a lead-in before a program, or something that I see out in the park that I just think is really cool, and I want to put it up really quick. I'll put them up on Instagram. So you can see things on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and on the website. So we're trying to get our message out as much as possible. The Nature Center is going to remain closed for the foreseeable future. As soon as we're able to open, I will let you know. But until then, these programs will continue Tuesday to Friday at 11 and 2 o'clock each day. And we're going to be doing things like visiting other parks. I'm going to be doing other trail walks. This afternoon, I have a really special program. I'm really excited. We're going to do our Sandy Beach program. It might be a little longer, but I'm going to run a net and see if we can catch some things out in the Sound. We'll talk about the animals that are in Long Island Sound and any animals that wash up on the beach or signs of animals that might wash up on the beach. So if you tune in this afternoon at 2 o'clock, you can see our Sandy Beach program. Until then, I don't see any new questions, so I'm going to sign off. Hopefully I'll see you all at 2 o'clock. Thank you for watching.